Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Footprints right here on Soulhour TV. My name is Sandra Agyeman, your host for this program. And the goal of this program is to showcase the footprints of some of our Ghanaian people who have gone through some challenges and still have managed to stand up on top. Today, our guest is another very impressive man. At least I find him interesting, and I hope you also find him interesting. It is none other than Mr. Adjei. He has a bachelor's degree in English and education, has been teaching English for many years in different countries and at different schools, such as Adjei, Almere, Meergrond, and is currently teaching English at the Rosa College of Amsterdam North. So without too much talking and ado, I'm going to take this opportunity to welcome this gentleman to the program. Good day, Mr. Adjei. How are you doing?
Well, I'm alright, I'm healthy, I'm strong.
Yeah?
It's Father's Day, so
Yes.
I'm taking alive.
Yes.
Things are going on well.
Okay, and you're enjoying the weather as well, I'm sure.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's
You're
brilliant.
looking good also.
Thank you, you too.
I like your combination.
Oh wow, that's good. You too. Did you have any special program today?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I'm a lady. I want to say a woman yet. I'm a lady, but it was women's movement at my church, so I had to represent as well. And of course, it's Father's Day, so I also have to.
You look exquisite.
Thank you very much. I like the word exquisite. You see, as an English teacher, we we are already on the vocabulary.
Let's
level.
come down to the low horses.
Yes. Let's come, please. It's much more English. I don't understand English so much. So please,
my.
have mercy on me.
Okay. We're going to have this on ourselves.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Well, as you rightly mentioned, my name is Adjei. I grew up in Ghana for quite a long time before I came to Holland.
Yeah.
And I've lived here for the past almost, say, 10 years. And basically I've been teaching. And I work as what they call a begeleider, mentor, at Montessori College host. So I have different functions within the teaching profession. It's not only standing in front of the class, but doing a whole lot of different things, contacting parents and administration and all that.
Okay.
It's a variety of tasks.
That's good what you're doing. On the issue of contacting parents, I think we will come back to that later on. But tell me, when you were growing up in Ghana, how was it like for you?
Well, I come from a very strict family. I had a very strict dad who passed away quite recently, and a very concerned spiritual mother.
Yeah.
So while she was taking care of the spiritual life of her children, my dad was taking care of the physical aspect. With children of 7, and so you can imagine how really our parents had to be very hard on us. We grew up in a very rough area in Accra.
Yeah.
And so it was quite very hectic. I was middle son. The firstborn is a boy, and then the lastborn is a boy, divided by 2 girls. I was in the middle.
Okay.
So I was really like that. My dad had his eyes on me, and I was a bit naughty. I mean, like all not naughty, like all young boys do. And coming from an area which is quite tough, you have to really be on your guard. You have to really be strong and very courageous in whatever you do. Otherwise, they will ride over you. So my life back home in Ghana was quite ups and downs. Education was very important. We all had to go to school. But then the social life was very important as well. And as I said, my mom was taking care of the spiritual life. We're going to church on Sundays. We only had, if you didn't go to church, you never had a new shirt.
Oh, it's punishment.
So yes.
The punishment for not going to church.
Yeah, so basically it was, that's why I feel really blessed and I feel very content with my life here in Europe.
Okay. Okay. So, well, where are your parents from? Like, Adjei is an Ashanti.
Well,
name, right?
Well, it's I call it it's found in the different cultures in Ghana, even Ghana's, and actually the B, which stands for Boite, is also Ghana. Yeah. So many of my friends, my friends back home in Ghana, where my schoolmates, they all thought that I was a Ghana actually, but because I also came from a typical Gamashi area in Accra. So, but then my dad is Achim, my mom is Achim as well, from the Achim Abuakwa area. That's my mom, and my dad from Achim Kotoku, Achim Odam basically. So they are all Achims, but my dad migrated to Accra before independence, long before independence, as a young guy. That's where life started with my mom, and we were all born and raised there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So as you indicated, you first taught also in Ghana before coming here. But I wanted to, because I'll come back to that question, but I wanted to know what are some of the challenges that you went through when you arrived here in general, and as in starting to even do the same job that you used to do back home?
Yes. It wasn't easy. Obviously, the weather was a problem, but I'm not going to recount that because that is quite obvious. The culture was quite different. But for me, what particularly I found very upsetting was the manner of teaching and learning in this country. Back home, before you wrote your exam, I mean in Ghana, you had to really fish out for the apple. And when you get to the apple, I hope you guys understand what the apple is when you get the answers to your questions, the information that really pertains to your subject area. You never shared it with anybody. You became more or less selfish, which is a very interesting sociological aspect of our lives, which we can talk about later on in another program. But you become selfish. You glue yourself, so to speak, to the information you have, so that you excel. But here, everything was open. So open that I was wondering, are they really learning? But then, because it was open and it is shown to you, they expect more from you if you can really produce what you have and then go beyond it. So that was the problem that I faced. And then, of course, the composition of the class was multicultural. We had students from England, mainly from England, about 5, 6, and then we have from South Africa, from United States of America, and then Ghana, and Somalia, and all that. And the interesting thing about the course was that it was an exchange program. So we spent about 5 months here, and then went back to England for another 5, 6 months. So that kind of thing. So, I mean, coming as I did in a very humble way, I wouldn't say poor way, very humble way, life was pretty hard. I had to do some cleaning jobs to augment for the little money that I got from the government or from this private church and organization that was helping us.
And I'm sure also for, like, at least I know, for international students, the fees is also very high.
Yes, very, very high. The good thing was that I had to, some years of the course were written off because I did some part of the program back home in Ghana. So they were written off, and so somehow I had to pay not too much, unlike some of my colleagues who had to pay the full year's program. So that was what I said, and then I had to work, as I said. But then we didn't have enough hours to work, and so I had to collect somebody's cutlass and then start to weed my backyard. You know what I mean? And eventually, just to supplement the little that I have, and of course, think back home. That was another tasking event. So you have to take a little back home.
It seems like everybody has that issue. Like, even if you're here or you were born here, at least the ones that came here at the older stage, they always have that still in their mind, because you always have to think about back home.
Yes. That is. It's like.
And I think for some of us, that for some people, it can be. It makes the challenging even harder than it should be.
Yeah, in a sense. To the extent that you are contributing to the upkeep of a life in your country, it's worthwhile. It's a blessing, you know. Coming here and then the little that you have, you support your family back home. It's worthwhile. So, although it's very tasking, it's very difficult for us to make ends meet. Yet we try to send something back home, and I think that is welcome. That is very important in lifting up some lives back home in Ghana.
So, as a teacher yourself, how do you find the schooling system here?
Well, I mean, to understand the system here, let's take a step back and look at our system back home in Ghana.
Yeah.
You know, it is all woven around this idea of the more you're clever if you're able to chew all the facts in the book and then pour it.
Yes.
So it's chew, pour, pass, and forget.
Yeah.
And then again, it's the educational structure is like a pyramid. The higher you go, the lesser chance, the more chance you have. So that those who are not able to go up, fall out, and they're not able to do anything. So they become like school dropouts, which is a very immense problem back home in Ghana. Unlike what we have back home in Ghana, in Holland, there is care for everybody. I mean, the system is such that you can start from the VMBO basic, which is the basic, and rise up to the top, to the HBO level. And I know students who went through my hands,
raise my hands.
Yes, and I actually, quite recently, I've been given a new task at Montessori College. So I go there on Fridays to see what's going on and check my net and then do the markings and the talking and all that. And then I bumped into one of the new face in there. So I watched this face for like, it's a Turkish girl, 2, 3, 4 times. So one day I approached her, I saw her going, so I opened my office and then I called her, I said, I know your face somewhere. And she said, yeah, you taught me English here. I said, yes, I know you. And so what are you doing here? She says, I'm doing my service. Wow, I was astounded because she was a basic student. And I told her, look, this is a very good example I could use for a presentation, you know. How did she do it? She started from VMBU basic, rose through the ranks, went to CADA, to theoretics, MBU, level 4, and now MBU and HBU, and she's now teaching. So she's like a colleague.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I was really... So the system here is very flexible, but complicated. You need to understand it to know where you can push the gadgets.
Yeah.
And the fact that the parents have rights as well to intervene in school decision. Schools never decide for us, we advise and suggest. So that is very helpful for us, especially with foreigners, where we can come in and then tell them about, because they don't know much about the education back home.
Yeah.
You know, in Ghana, it's you only have like, when I was there, you only have like twice or thrice, 3 times a year PTA meeting. And then even it's not an actual PTA, they come and then they blow their whatever they come along with, their food and all that, you know. But here, you can just go in and then talk to the teachers about the progress of your son or your child, and then you'll be advised. So that's basically what I see about the system here. That the system here is very evolving.
Okay. So in terms of teaching, what is the most difficult position that you've ever been in?
Oh goodness me. Well, teaching every day is a new start. Every day is a new experience. And that is what makes the work very invigorating, very interesting. Because you go in and then you meet new challenges. How do you deal with it? And at that moment, you don't refer to theories in your textbooks, what you've read or whatever. You have to deal with it on the spur of the moment. But I think some of the issues that really come back home still heavy on my heart is when you tell parents that their ward has to go to a special school or has to repeat or has to be taken to how do you call it, BOPI or Transvaal for that sort of institutions that take care of behavioral and problems of students or learning problems. That's a very damping feeling you can ever imagine as a parent. So one girl I talked to her mom, I said, look, this is what is happening, this is what we suggest. The woman was really, really, really upset. She was mad. She never understood it. She's a Dutch woman. She was really angry with us. And me being the mouthpiece, the mentor of the girl, I received the brunt of her anger really. But I told her, look, I understand, but we are trying to help your daughter.
Yeah.
So that is the thing that really.
So this what you just said now, as in deciding, not really, but letting the parents know that your child have to go to a special school,
for example. Yes.
Because I know that in our community, you know, it seems, because the example you just gave now, you said it was a Dutch person.
Yes, Dutch woman. Yes.
But if I put my ears on the ground, it seems like we believe that it's always our children that get these kind of bad advices.
You see, I would like to treat every child as an individual. We can't put all of them in one box.
Yeah.
So some of these problems, behavioral problems, concentration problems, learning difficulties. One side, a brilliant student, splendid situation, excellent students, all also on one side. I mean, the so-called ethnic minority parents, and we are part of it, we feel the punch more because we do not understand this. We think we're more discriminated against. You know? In some instances, I think it is rightly so. They have a right to really attack whatever institution that is proposing that. But then, why I said I deal with individually and as parents as well, I would like to see parents understand their children better than even the teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to wait till the teacher to tell us, my child, your daughter has a special, she has special needs. Let's be frank and let's be straight to the point. In actual fact, some of these students who are here, who are going through some of these difficulties, behavioral problems and all that, if they were in Ghana, they would have even not stepped into a classroom. They would have been, sorry to say, vagabonds, street children. But here, the privilege is there. And your child going to this behavioral training or whatever does not mean that the child will be there for the rest of her life. In some cases, they go there for like 3, 4, 6 months. And then they come back to their regular school. So in other words, it's a place of transition, trying to embellish your life, as it were, so to speak, to check your behavior, to find out and then think that, why am I here? You follow the courses as well, because you'll not be put there and then neglected. No. But then, instead of in a bigger group, you'll be put in a smaller group, and then you have extra attention, extra mentoring, so that if the teachers observe you for a while, then they can recommend that, no, this child has now gone through some training, so he's fit to go back to the regular Sunday school, you know. And you don't pay a dime. In fact, I would like to see all our children excel, doing very well. And in fact, and some of them are really, Sandra, some of them really are. And I even like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the students who have passed the exams, from VMPO, Harvard VBO, even from the...
They did so well.
Excellent,
They did us
so brilliant.
proud. Yes.
My son as well, you know.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, 6 VBO. Thank you, thank you. He's also done very well. So, and he's been here for like 5 years, you know. I'm proud. So these are some of the things. We don't have to think that my child is the best. So who is this teacher to tell me that my child's going to special school?
Because I think when they say behavioral issues, then I wonder, what exactly do these children do that you people consider to be wrong? Because obviously, whatever it is they are doing, they are not doing at home because the parents are not seeing it.
Exactly. That is a very good question, and it's a very sensitive one. And I understand next week there is a program, I think on the 22nd or something, that we're going to meet to discuss this crime within Ghanaian community.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting in this case. Listen, and I did some research on that. It is when these students, those classified as nuisance, as being vagabonds, criminals, I don't know, strong word here, are mainly immigrant students. They are students who have come here to reunite with their parents. So like their parents are here, the parents take the children, they bring the children, they born them maybe in Ghana or here, take them back because of, you know, our status. So when things are okay, they want the children to join them here. So imagine, let's have a very clear scenario here. Imagine you or I just finished JSS, about to go to SSS in Ghana, looking at our culture of studies, how we do everything, how the teachers cane us, the corporal punishment, the disciplinary measures we go through. And then my mom tells me, oh, partner, the chance has come for you to come to Holland. I'll be very jubilant. I'm with you. I'm going to Europe. I can get the latest computer. So you come. Now when you come, you see that the environment is quite different. You write exam. Now, that's another issue. The exam is another issue.
The whole topic has so many angles that we can tackle.
Yes.
You know what? I think we're going to take a break. And this is going to be a very interesting topic. I don't think even one interview can do. But we're going to take a break and we'll come back your way with more on this educational issue. Thank you very much for joining us. Hello viewers, welcome back to the second part of this interview slot with Mr. Alex Adjei. Mr. Adjei is an English teacher and holds a bachelor degree in English and education. We've been talking so far and it has become very interesting. So we're going to continue right where we left off. Because Mr. Adjei, as I asked before, I was curious as into what exactly do these youngsters do that you, or let's say that the schooling system consider to be a behavioral problem?
Well, it's two phases. First of all, we look at children born and raised here.
Yeah.
And then children who have come in to join their parents, so immigrant students, which is actually my specialized area. I'll talk about that first. Those who have been brought in from Ghana to rejoin their parents. We don't have to forget they went through a certain system of education back home in Ghana, which actually is premised on you have to learn hard, you have to learn the facts in the books, that sort of thing. And then pass your exam and go to university. So it's like a stream like JSS, SSS to university. Now we bring these students in when they are like from JSS or to SSS. Now when they come, the culture is quite different. They go to schools like after writing a 2 Latin exams, what they call admission exams. They go to schools like Nova College or Montessori College or Bella or what. Now, and they go there and they are given activities that are quite demeaning actually. I mean, in terms of their academic status. They'll be told to do like table 2 times 2 in Dutch. Something that a child has done back home in like primary school. So that is very belittling, as they say it. And in that aspect, they try to channel the energy they have into misbehaving in class. So that is one. And then again, of course, obviously there are those who have learning difficulties. You know, the Dutch way of learning is quite different from back home in Ghana. It is very constant, continuous, and a lot of homework is given. So if the child is not able to cope with the pace of this teaching learning activity, then the school assumes that there is something wrong with the child. And then the advice comes to that take your child to a special school or to behavioral a school where the child can they can concentrate on his or her behavior, so that sort of a corrective measure, so the child can come back again after a while. But that is very very disturbing. I mean, I understand.
But then this behavioral problem, because the way you explain it now, because you looked at it more from the point of view of children who have been brought here.
Yes, from Ghana.
From Ghana or from anywhere else.
Exactly. Yeah.
The ones that were born here.
Yeah.
They don't have this problem, or.
Oh, certainly they do. They do have this problem as well. So it could be biological. It could be social.
For me, I don't know, but I get the impression that some of the ones that are born here have even more serious issues than the ones that were brought here.
You see, it is this. Those born here, that is why I think the parents will have to play a very important role here. Those born here have come to know their parents, unlike the one who was the immigrant student who lived probably with her uncle or grandmother or someone back home in Ghana. But this one was born here, so at least the first point of contact for this child is the parents. If the parents are neglecting their functions, which I hardly believe some parents do, I assume that all parents are responsible. However, if where parents are neglecting their responsibility for this child in terms of not attending school meetings of this child, in terms of not giving the child the social space to develop, in terms of abuses, that sort of thing, then that creates sort of a psychological problem for this child. And that problem is translated in the school premises where this child goes. So then the school will say your child has a problem. For instance, fighting unreasonably. For instance, kicking unreasonably. For instance, not able to concentrate on the work because the home, his immediate environment, probably daddy's playing hardcore music, mama is also shouting on the phone, and so there's a whole lot of noise or sound, let's say sound that goes around him, and he's not able to interpret the sound. So that could be a factor, and the rest, actually, I'm not a psychologist or a doctor to go into details, but then educational-wise, these are some of the problems that we have seen, that the parental upbringing is very, very essential. And we talk about parental upbringing as if it's we assume our parents, it's a special devotion, it's a special attention, it's a special connection you need to have with the child. And the child can translate that in class. So that basically, that is what I think. But then the seriousness of the problem with the immigrant students who are here, I personally believe, and depending on the results that I've seen, has to do with the kind of choice, school choice, that is suggested to them, or that is given to them. And because the parents lack knowledge of that education, they also welcome this kind of advice, and then they take the child to these schools. And as you rightly pointed out, there are some students who can go through the same exams, but then because their parents understand the system of education, they're able to send their children to a different school, not to these, let's say, immigrant schools or black schools that we have in Amsterdam, or we have in the big cities in the Netherlands. Okay,
but still on this, the difference when it comes to education, the difference between children that were born here and the ones that came in at the latter stage. Because I've seen children that came in maybe when they were 14, 13, well, but because of the way or how they experience school to be, and the kind of hardship that they went through back home, it makes them even some of them
more
serious, more focused.
Yes.
And the ones that were born here and like everything is like sort of given, they are more relaxed. Or is it just me that...
No, you're right. But in actual fact, what you just mentioned about the seriousness of those who, the mindset of those who come in from Ghana, from wherever, because of the hardships, they come in and they are motivated. You see, that is the spirit that we need to transform into the classroom, into something productive in the classroom. But they are not challenged.
Yeah.
That is the point I'm making. They come in very aspiring, to inspire up there. But they are not challenged.
Yeah.
And they tell me, I want to be a journalist. I want to be this. I want to be that. But they are not challenged in class. They are made to study Dutch. And at a level and at a pace that is really demeaning again to them. They have to do a whole lot of things in Dutch, and they go like, and let me say, use the vocabulary. Teacher, you might hear we were Ghana, Messiah. So once they told me, look, I'm dropping out. I have to leave school because I'm not motivated. I didn't come in basketball, I'm not able to do it. A mother told me that if she knew that her son was coming to be a carpenter here, she would have allowed her son to stay back home in Ghana and then follow some apprenticeship program with these old men carpenters so that she can be a perfect carpenter. But that is just by the way, you know. But the issue is that spirit of achieving, that motivational spirit that they come in with, which is positive. All of us came in with that spirit. So when you have a challenging teacher, a challenging classroom, you're able to excel. Those who go to Bella, my son came in about 5 years ago, and he went to Bella, and he was challenged, and he went up.
Yeah.
I know some students, some old students who went to Bella, and even two who went to MCU, who have also gone up. You see, so that's the point. The point is, they are not challenged a lot, and then they tend to direct this energy that they have into the different other energy wasting.
Well, this is a very interesting topic, and I think we will have to find a different date and deliberate more on it. So tell me something, as a kid, as a child, was it your dream to become a teacher?
Well, no, actually, I have a passion for human beings. I love life, and I love human beings. I love to share whatever I have with friends, with anybody at all. So that passion, it really hurts to see somebody very coming back to my classroom, talented Ghanaian youth coming in, and then these talents are wasted.
Yeah.
Because they don't meet. That is very disheartening. It's very painful. And so my ambition to be a teacher was not actually something clear-cut, but in my ambition to help others if need be, probably took me to that level. I could have been a lawyer, I could have been a doctor, I could have been, because it's all human oriented areas. But then if I got this, then I'm so proud. God knows what He's doing.
Okay. So another thing, do you have a personal motto in life? Because everybody has a motto that they go about with. Mine is be still and know He's God. That's mine. That's mine. That's my motto for life.
With you. Yes.
Do you have anything like that?
Actually, I don't have that sort of catchphrase as to guide me. But I believe in this, that whatever you find yourself to do it well.
Yes.
It comes once, it goes, and you never get it again. So whatever you find yourself to do it well with your best, and then leave a mark. And especially to the youth, involve yourself in voluntary work.
Yeah.
Take a lot of these social activities, and then do it. There are a whole lot of institutions in Holland that look for volunteers to work in summer, this summer holidays. You don't be paid much, but then it boosts your CV. It helps you to develop something in you as well. Because I know what I'm talking about. I've done it in some countries, and I know what that is. So I don't have any personal motto to follow. Of course, then I'll say, My God is my king. Is my everything.
Now you just made one up.
Well, that is serious. I just made it up.
You just made one up for himself.
You've got me there.
Hey.
You've got me there, yes.
Oh God, God is, what was it? God is king? Okay,
Of my
God is, your God is your king.
Yes, it's my king of my life. Well, I need to polish it later on.
Yes, please do. So on your professional life.
Yes.
So you are a teacher.
Yes.
So give us a picture, a clear picture of how a day looked like.
Oh, I earlier on said that what I see about the teaching profession is, especially in Holland, is that every day is a new challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you step in the gates of the school, and then a student comes to you with weeping or tears in their eyes, wanting a hug, and then telling you my old, this white people is dead. So things like that. So for me, every day is challenging, and I live, so because of that I've made up my mind. I'm open, very flexible to meet these challenges. So I don't think there is a particular permanent situation in my life. For instance, like office work. You sit behind a desk, you have your computer, switch on, and then you're doing the same thing, calling and that sort of thing. But teaching, you're dealing with human beings, human souls. Human souls. How can you put a smiling sparkle in the heart of the student before he goes home? Or she goes home? So it is very...
Actually, I know how you can do that.
You know I can do that?
I know how you can do that.
Oh, really? Okay, yes. So you can be there, How do you do it? Tell me.
Well, every student's dream is for a pass.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to put a smile on their faces, you just give them a pass.
Exactly.
That's just it. That's the problem solved.
Yeah, but it doesn't. You see, the thing is, with us, when I say with us, I mean with Ghanaians, we are marks conscious. With the Dutch people, it's not marks. It's about having a happy life. Ask them what is more important, money or love. And because I know a lot of us would like to take money, but they go like love. And I go, then I can buy love. They say, no, so you can't buy us. You can buy love. I have to feel it. And then it has to be mutual. And then it takes off. And I know where there is love, there is money. And I see that, yes, it's to an extent, it's true. Ask a Ghanaian student. Love of money here in Pisca. I but that's just by the way,
That's the reason why I came to this.
But so with a Dutch student, that is quite different. They are
it's more the past. As long as I have a past.
Yes, and more of affection with the Dutch students, and more of showing concern. Be there, talk to them, engage them in lively conversation, something interesting.
Okay. So I can't help but ask. Since you taught in Ghana as well, were you that kind of teacher that was always walking around with his cane? Or you were more, because obviously I have suffered my own.
You see, I need to correct this. It was a national service, so you had to do this teaching national service. But then after that, I did I taught for a few months before I had this chance to come. But the point is, I told you I have this passion for human beings. There was a case, yes, there was a case. Some students had to collect some water, fetch some water from somewhere. Yes. And one student was late. So I was the master on duty, and I was giving the cane to cane this chap. And then I lifted the cane. I said, stretch your hand. And then I just brought it down onto her palm. And then the head teacher was standing not too far from me. And he said, Mr. J, that is not how to cane. He collected the cane and then he gave it to the girl, really. And I told him, look, I don't have the heart for that. I can't do that. I can't punish with the cane. I mean, I can't use the cane too. But then there are other ways to do it.
Yes. Which
like writing lines, like I shall never be late again, 10 times, something. But in Ghana, we don't have a lot of papers for that. But here, that's what I do.
Okay, that's what you do here?
Yes, that's what I have. That is one of the ways I punish my students. But before it comes to that, then we've gone through a whole lot of personal talks. advice and then warnings and all that, and then it gets to that point.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I would have been very happy if I had you as my teacher.
Well, it depends. Probably your behavior might not be appropriate in my class as well. Probably, I don't know, and I might punish you. But I see you were an upright girl. I think so.
I try.
It's good. It's good.
So on your family life, are you married?
Yes, I am married.
Okay.
I have. I know you're going to ask how many children. I have 3 boys. I mean, that's a subsequent.
You're already
yes,
going
I
there.
have 3 boys.
Okay,
married.
so you're married and you have 3 children, and I'm sure with your job or what you do, you definitely take work home, right?
No, I try to distance myself from schoolwork when I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't take markers with me.
Okay.
I do, but then it's really under pressure.
Okay.
And with the new system of education in Holland, writing administration reports about the students and all that, and being a formaster, then it's a lot of work. But I do when it's really necessary. But then when I close 3:30, then I just switch off my computer, everything, and then I come home, and then just play with the kids around, especially the last 2 ones. So with that, because I try to respect my private life, and then when it's time to go back to my professional career, I do that as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, viewers, we've come to the last section of this program, which is the general issues and advice section. And I had actually we've sort of gone into it a little bit already, because at least from what I've been hearing, or if you actually do pay attention, is that most of the Ghanaian parents are very concerned with the education of their children. They somewhat have this idea that the children are not being treated fairly in terms of where to go and where not to go, but and also even how far they can go with this academic ladder that they choose to climb it. But then again, most of the parents don't know how to go about this, because they don't even know where to start from. So I was wondering if you, as a teacher, from your point of view, what is then the right way? How do we do this?
Yes, I mean, this is one of the ways.
This is one of the ways to talk about it.
Yes, one of the ways. But then I would like to see more information programs. What Akasanoma is doing, other media is doing. But you see, this is it. We have a sort of mindset. I have that as well. Probably those born here might not. And the mindset is this, and probably is the mindset of many parents, is that by hook or crook, my child should be there. Even though if your child is diagnosed with behavioral problem, concentration problem. So your mind is already made up. My child has to be there, and my child has to be a doctor, has to be an engineer, has to be this, has to be a nurse, a teacher, or that. When that does not happen, disappointment sets in, and frustration comes into, and the frustration leads to distancing yourself from your child. You begin to use negative words. And that is what is happening within the Ghanaian community. Some of us fail to attend information evenings, fail to gather information about the system of education in Holland, yet we want our children to attend some of the best schools in Holland, or to become to attend some of the best professions in Holland. But I'll tell you, Sandra, it might surprise you to know that there are some university professors, there are some doctors who are earning less than $2,000, 2,000 euros a month. Because it is not that they don't want to earn more, they can, but they choose to work like 2 days a week. In other words, what am I saying? For them, it's not to do with the that level of or the money that is coming, but it's got to do with personal satisfaction. And if we understand this, because we go to church and we wail, a lot, at the top of our voices, not thinking about the effect it has on our vocal cord itself, all because we want the child to be there, and we fail to understand this child that we have. It's just like taking a basket to the riverside, collecting water, and before you get it, the water is gone. It's a hopeless situation, like a blind man looking for a needle in a dark room. A useless effort. But then we need to start, in fact, we need to take it day by day. Have a vision for the child. Let your child also have this vision. Let him talk. Mama, I want to be this. Somebody told me that she wanted to work she wants to join the medical profession, but she's afraid of blood. Yes, it's not being a practical, joining the medical team does not necessarily mean you're going to operate. They have the administration side as well. Yeah. They have other aspects which hardly has anything to do with blood or urine or whatever. There are all phases to it because the economy is developed, or is developed to such an extent that there are facets all coming together to form this big medical team, like teaching. Yeah. We have people in our offices, we have doctors, school arts, from Adjei. They come there, they are there, they have their offices. We have this people who recommend psychologists. They are there in their offices. So before we take the child out before it becomes a big problem, then we've consulted the school's team. And we have the teachers, we have the typists, so they all come together to form this big teaching profession. So my advice to parents is join information evenings, gather information, ask if you don't know, seek, you'll find, and knock, the door will be open for you. And then when you get that, give your child a social space to develop his or herself, the skills that the child needs, and then take it from there. Yeah. With God on our side, we shall make it.
Hey. Well, what can I say after that? So before you leave at all as a teacher, is there anything that you would also like to share with us, like an advice or something else to make us, because the journey is quite hard, I have to admit. Is there any advice that you would like to give to some of these students that are having a hard time with their studies or any other thing that they are involved with?
Well, first of all, I think the students themselves know themselves. They know what they are going through. And who feels it knows. So they have to have solutions to it. But what I can top it up with is that, as a profession, is that I advise these kids to live up to their expectations, their dreams, what they want to be. But if they are not able to be, for instance, a journalist, there are other aspects of journalism that they can take, like you are doing now, Sandra. There are other aspects of nursing that they can take. It is not, the door is not a closed environment, it is open. So it's up to them to seek it. And the most important thing of all is they have to make time for their books. By that, I'm not saying open your book, sit behind a crowd. No. Use the library. Use facilities. Build your learning capacity by attending small conferences, by taking voluntary work, joining other communities to work, to build up. And as you do that, it broadens your mind, it enlarges your vision, and it gives you a large heart for whatever you want to do. So basically that's what I'll tell them to do. And they don't have to, whatever they are going through with their parents, they have to understand that they are their parents. So at long run, they'll come back to them. So build the bridges and don't break them up. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much for that advice. Well, viewers, this has brought us to the end of this episode of Footprints. It was very, 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 very educative. I hope the parents at home and the young ones are also watching. And until I come your way, the next time with the next guest, please stay tuned right here on Soulhour TV every Sunday from 6 o'clock going. Thank you very much. Good day.